All right, I'm looking at another Fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. And since today is April Fool's Day, it felt like we had to do the puzzle that lies to you on April Fool's Day. So interesting. I definitely want to do the H, and so then I might as well do the S, C, or T with it. We could do something ending in like a CH or an SH. Then the S would be in the same spot. That can be good. Let's do, swish is interesting because it gets the double S, which helps us look for contradictions as well. Okay, well, so let's look at the S's because this is good. Can these both be true? That's the question to ask yourself. And the answer is no, because if these are both true, it means there's one S in the word. It is not first, it's not fourth. Wherever that S is, if this was colored appropriately for Wordle, the first one would be yellow, the second one would be gray. So these can't both be true. Therefore, one of them has to be a lie, and the rest of these have to be true, which means the H is the lie here, which means there's no S, and that's the lie there. We have just new letters. That's all we need is new letters. Okay. So, what do we want to do? Something with an OA or an OU? Something like cloud, but not the C. Round will work. There we go. I couldn't think of even a possible guess. Okay, interesting. Well, we could do something like GRO, like growl, but we can't do the W, or group, but we can't do the U. We could also just do the U and not the O. U might be better. Grump. Okay, well, one of the R's is a lie, so there's definitely no U. If it was MP, then we'd have to have new letters otherwise. AMP? What would we put at the beginning, though? So that's not going to work. If we want to have an R, then the M and the P have to be, we could do something like this, but that's no good. And then you have to have an O, ORP, and then an M, or, well, there could be no M. The M could be the, no, if you put an R, then the R is the lie, so then the M. If there's no R and there's no M, we could do that. New letters. But then, I mean, you're running out of letters to use. If we do the M, then we need new letters. It feels like there should be something that works like that. But I'm not coming up with anything. You know, another possibility is the P is the lie. And we do like an ORM. No, you can't do the R. Right. You can't do the R if the M or the P is the lie. So if the P is the lie, then there's no R, which means there's no O. Wow. I feel like I should be able to come up with this, but it's not happening. What if we do like an AMPY? The P is the lie. We can't do campy. There could be no P. We could do, we can't do a double M though. MA something Y, something like that. Is vampy a word? It's a word at least. Wow. Okay, well, one of the M's is a lie, so there's definitely a P. And yeah, so one of the M's is a lie between grumpy and vampy, and either the P or the Y is a lie here. These can't both be true, so everything else has to be true. So there's no R, so that's the lie. Okay, so we have an A. We definitely have a P. If the P is there, then the M is the lie. Then there's no M. So there's either, the A isn't necessarily third, but at this point, it's the only vowel we have if there's no Y. So it would almost have to be LP, I feel like. Don't know what that would be. Or the Y is true, and then there's an M and a P. But they both have to be... if the A were here, the M and the P would both have to be... Wait. So that would mean that there is an M, so then the P, yeah, this would be true. And this would be true, so it would have to be P and M at the beginning if the A was third. So if there's a Y at the end, amply. Ugh. I even was thinking of AMP words, but I was trying to put it in the middle or at the end instead of at the beginning. Amply. All right. Well, I had ample clues to figure that out, and it just wasn't coming to me today, but still got it in 5, even though it took quite a bit of thinking. So let me know how your solve went, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more.